The Central Bureau of Investigation is the foremost investigative police agency in India, an elite force which plays a role in public life and ensuring the health of the national economy. It is under the jurisdiction of the Government of India. The CBI is involved in major criminal probes, and is the Interpol agency in India. The CBI was established in 1941 as the special police establishment, tasked with domestic security. It was renamed the Central Bureau of Investigation on 1 April 1963. Its motto is Industry, Impartiality, Integrity. Agency headquarters is in the Indian capital, New Delhi, with field offices located in major cities throughout India. The CBI is overseen by the Department of Personnel and Training of the Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions of the Union Government, headed by a Union Minister who reports directly to the Prime Minister, while analogous in structure to the Federal Bureau of Investigation in the United States of America. The CBI's powers and functions are limited to specific crimes by acts. The current CBI director is Shri Anil Kumar Sinha, IPS. History. Special Police Establishment. The Central Bureau of Investigation traces its origins to the Special Police Establishment, which was set up in 1941 by the government. The functions of the SPE were to investigate bribery and corruption in transactions with the War and Supply Department of India, set up during World War II with its headquarters in Lahore. The superintendent of the War Department and the SPE was Khan Bahadur Qurban Ali Khan, who later became governor of the Northwest Frontier Province at the creation of Pakistan. The first legal advisor of the War Department was Ray Sahib Karam Chand Jain. After the end of the war, there was a continued need for a central governmental agency to investigate bribery and corruption by central government employees. Ray Sahib Karam Chand Jain remained its legal advisor when the department was transferred to the Home Department by the 1946 Delhi Special Police Establishment Act. The DSPE's scope was enlarged to cover all departments of the Government of India. Its jurisdiction extended to the Union territories and could be further extended to the states with the consent of the state governments involved. Sardar Patel, first Deputy Prime Minister of Free India and head of the Home Department, desired to weed out corruption in erstwhile princely states such as Jodhpur and Tonk. Patel directed legal advisor Karam Chand Jain to monitor criminal proceedings against the Jewans and chief ministers of those states. The DSPE acquired its popular current name, Central Bureau of Investigation, through a Home Ministry resolution dated 1 April 1963. CBI takes shape. The CBI established a reputation as India's foremost investigative agency with the resources for complicated cases, and it was requested to assist the investigation of crimes such as murder, kidnapping and terrorism. The Supreme Court and a number of high courts in the country also began assigning such investigations to the CBI on the basis of petitions filed by aggrieved parties. In 1987, the CBI was divided into two divisions, the Anti-Corruption Division and the Special Crimes Division. D.P. Kohli, the founding director of the CBI, was D.P. Kohli, who held the office from 1 April 1963 to 31 May 1968. Before this, Kohli was Inspector General of Police for the Special Police Establishment from 1955 to 1963 and held law enforcement positions in Madhya Bharat, Uttar Pradesh and local central government offices. For distinguished service, Kohli was awarded the Padma Bhushan in 1967. Kohli saw in the Special Police Establishment the potential to growing into a national investigative agency. He nurtured the organization during his long career as Inspector General and Director and laid the foundation on which the agency grew. Organizational structure. The CBI is headed by a director, an IPS officer with the rank of Director General of Police. The director is selected based on the CVC Act 2003, and has a 2-year term. Other ranks in the CBI which may be staffed by the IRS and the IPS are Special Director, Additional Director, Joint Director, Deputy Inspector General of Police, Senior Superintendent of Police, Superintendent of Police, Additional Superintendent of Police, Deputy Superintendent of Police, Inspector, Sub-Inspector, Assistant Sub-Inspector, Head Constable, Constable, which are recruited through SSC through deputation from Police and Income Tax Department. The CBI is subject to 3 ministries of the Government of India and 2 constitutional bodies: Ministry of Home Affairs, Cadre Clearance, DOPT, Administration, Budget and Induction of Non-IPS Officers. Union Public Service Commission, offices of and above the rank of Deputy SP, Law and Justice Ministry, Public Prosecutors, Central Vigilance Commission, Anti-Corruption Cases. Selection Committee. The amended Delhi Special Police Establishment Act empowers a committee to appoint the Director of CBI. The committee consists the following people: Prime Minister, Chairperson, Leader of Opposition, Member, Chief Justice of India or a Supreme Court judge recommended by the Chief Justice, Member. When making recommendations, the committee considers the views of the outgoing director. Above Selection Committee was constituted under the Lokpal and Lokayuktish Act, 2013. Before this, Central Vigilance Commissioner under CVC Act had this power. NDA government on the 25th of November 2014 moved an amendment bill to do away with the requirement of quorum in high-profile committee while recommending the names for the post of Director CBI to the central government by introducing the clause, "No appointment of a director shall be invalid merely by reason of any vacancy or absence of members in the panel," and to replace the LOP with leader of single largest opposition party, a pre-election coalition, as at present there is no leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha. Infrastructure. CBI headquarters is a 186 crore rupees state-of-the-art 11-story building in New Delhi, housing all branches of the agency. The 7,000 square meter building is equipped with a modern communications system, an advanced record maintenance system, storage space, computerized access control and an additional facility for new technology. Interrogation rooms, cells, dormitories and conference halls are provided. The building has a staff cafeteria with a capacity of 500, men's and women's gyms, a terrace garden, and bi-level basement parking for 470 vehicles. Advanced fire control and power backup systems are provided, in addition to a press briefing room and media lounge. The CBI Academy in Ghaziabad, Uttar Pradesh began in 1996. It is about 40 kilometers from the New Delhi railway station and about 65 kilometers from Indira Gandhi International Airport. The 26.5-acre campus with fields and plantations houses the administrative, academic, hospital and residential buildings. Before the academy was built, a small training centre at Lok Naik Bhawan, New Delhi, conducted short-term in-service courses. The CBI then relied on state police training institutions and the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel National Police Academy in Hyderabad for basic training. Courses for deputy superintendents of police, sub-inspectors and constables. The academy accommodates the training needs of all CBI ranks. Facilities for specialized courses are also made available to the officials of the state police, central police organizations, public sector vigilance organizations, bank and government departments and the Indian Armed Forces. Jurisdiction, powers and restrictions. The legal powers of investigation of the CBI are derived from the DSPE Act 1946, which confers powers, duties, privileges and liabilities on the Delhi Special Police Establishment and officers of the Union Territories. The central government may extend to any area the powers and jurisdiction of the CBI for investigation, subject to the consent of the government of the concerned state. Members of the CBI at or above the rank of sub-inspector may be considered officers in charge of police stations. Under the Act, the CBI can investigate only with notification by the central government. Relationship with state police. Maintaining law and order is a state responsibility, as police is a state subject, and the jurisdiction to investigate crime lies with the state police exclusively. The CBI, being a union subject, may investigate offences against central government employees, or concerning affairs of the central government and employees of central public sector undertakings and public sector banks, cases involving the financial interests of the central government, breaches of central laws enforceable by the Government of India, major fraud or embezzlement, multi-state organized crime, multi-agency or international cases. High Courts and the Supreme Court. The High Courts and the Supreme Court have the jurisdiction to order a CBI investigation into an offence alleged to have been committed in a state, without the state's consent, according to a 5-judge constitutional bench of the Supreme Court on the 17th of February 2010. The bench ruled, being the protectors of civil liberties of the citizens, this court and the High Courts have not only the power and jurisdiction but also an obligation to protect the fundamental rights, guaranteed by Part 3 in general and under Article 21 of the Constitution in particular, zealously and vigilantly. The court clarified this is an extraordinary power which must be exercised sparingly, cautiously and only in exceptional situations. Directors. Right to information. CBI is exempted from the provisions of the Right to Information Act. This exemption was granted by the government on the 9th of June 2011. The Directorate General of Income Tax Investigation and the National Intelligence Grid on the basis of national security. It was criticized by the Central Information Commission and RTI activists, who said the blanket exemption violated the letter and intent of the RTI Act. The exemption was upheld in Madras High Court. Criticism. Corruption. Because of the CBI's political overtones, it has been exposed by former officials such as Joginder Singh and B.R. Lal as engaging in nepotism, wrongful prosecution and corruption. In Lal's book, Who Owns CBI, he details how investigations are manipulated and derail. Corruption within the organization has been revealed in information obtained under the RTI Act, and RTI activist Krishnan Tripathi has alleged harassment from the CBI to save itself from exposure via RTI. Political interference. Normally, cases assigned to the CBI are sensitive and of national importance. It is standard practice for state police departments to register cases under its jurisdiction, if necessary. The central government may transfer a case to the CBI. The agency has been criticized for its mishandling of several scams. It has also been criticized for dragging its feet investigating prominent politicians, such as P.V. Narasimha Rao, Jayalalitha, Lalu Prasad Yadav, Mayawati and Mulayam Singh Yadav. This tactic leads to their acquittal and non-prosecution. Bofors scandal. In January 2006, it was discovered that the CBI had quietly unfrozen bank accounts belonging to Italian businessman Ottavio Quattrocchi, one of those accused in the 1986 Bofors scandal which tainted the government of Rajiv Gandhi. The CBI was responsible for the inquiry into the Bofors case. Associates of then Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi were linked to alleged payoffs made during the mid-1980s by Swedish arms firm AB Bofors, with $40 million in kickbacks moved from Britain and Panama to secret Swiss banks. The 410 howitzers purchased in the $1,300 million arms sale were reported to be inferior to those offered by a French competitor. The CBI, which unfroze 21 crore rupees in a London bank in accounts held by Bofors, accused Quattrocchi and his wife Maria in 2006 but facilitated his travel by asking Interpol to take him off its wanted list on the 29th of April 2009. After communications from the CBI, Interpol withdrew the red corner notice on Quattrocchi. Hawala scandal. A 1991 arrest of militants in Kashmir led to a raid on Hawala brokers, revealing evidence of large-scale payments to national politicians. The Jain Hawala case encompassed former Union Ministers Ajit Kumar Panya and P. Shiv Shankar, former Uttar Pradesh Governor Motilal Vora, Bharatiya Janata Party leader Yashwant Sinha. The 20 defendants were discharged by Special Judge V.B. Gupta in the 650 million case, heard in New Delhi. The judge ruled that there was no prima facie evidence against the accused which could be converted into legal evidence. Those freed included Bharatiya Janata Party President L.K. Advani, a former Union Ministers V.C. Shukla, Arjun Singh, Madhav Rao Scindia, N.D. Tiwari and R.K. Dewan, and former Delhi Chief Minister Madan Lal Khurana. In 1997, a ruling by late Chief Justice of India J.S. Verma listed about 24 guidelines which, if followed, would have ensured the independence of the investigating agency. 16 years later, successive governments circumvent the guidelines and treat the CBI as another wing of the government. Although the prosecution was prompted by a public interest petition, the case is concluded with no convictions. Invineet Narayanan Amp. OTHRs v. Union of India Air 1996 SC 3386. The Supreme Court ruled that the Central Vigilance Commission should have a supervisory role over the CBI. Priyadarshini Matta murder case. In this case, Santosh Kumar Singh, the alleged murderer of a 25-year-old law student, was acquitted for what the judge called deliberate inaction by the investigating team. The accused was the son of a high-ranking officer in the Indian Police Service. The reason for the CBI's involvement. The 1999 judgment noted that the influence of the father of the accused has been there. Embarrassed by the judgment, CBI Director R.K. Raghavan appointed 2 special directors to study the judgment. The CBI appealed the verdict in Delhi High Court in 2000, and the court issued a warrant for the accused. The CBI applied for an early hearing in July 2006. In October, the High Court found Singh guilty of rape and murder, sentencing him to death. Sister Abhaya. This case concerns the 27th of March 1992 death of a nun who was found in a water well in the St. Pius X convent hostel in Kottayam, Kerala. 5 CBI investigations have failed to yield any suspects. Sohrabuddin case. The CBI has been accused of supporting the ruling Congress party against its opposition, the BJP. The CBI is investigating the Sohrabuddin case in Gujarat. Geeta Johri, also investigating the case, claimed that the CBI is pressuring her to falsely implicate former Gujarat Minister Amit Shah. Sant Singh Chatwal case. Sant Singh Chatwal was a suspect in CBI records for 14 years. The agency had filed 2 charge sheets, sent letters rogatory abroad and sent a team to the United States to imprison Chatwal and his wife from 2 to 5 February 1997. On the 30th of May 2007 and 10 August 2008, former CBI directors Vijay Shankar and Ashwani Kumar, respectively, signed no challenge orders on the imprisonment. Later, it was decided not to appeal the release. This closed a case of bank fraud in which Chatwal had been embroiled for over a decade. Along with 4 others, Chatwal was charged with being part of a criminal conspiracy to defraud the Bank of India's New York branch of 28.32 crore rupees. 4 charges were filed by the CBI, with Chatwal named a defendant in 2. The other 2 trials are still in progress. RTI applicant Krishnan Tripathi was denied access to public information concerning the closed cases. The Central Information Commission later ordered the CBI to disclose the information. However, the CBI is exempt from the RTI Act. Chatwal is a recipient of the Padma Bhushan. Malankara Varghese murder case. This case concerns the 5th of December 2002 death of T.M. Varghese, a member of the Malankara Orthodox Church Managing Committee and a timber merchant. Varghese Thekakara, a priest and manager of the Angamali diocese of the rival Jacobite Syrian Christian Church, was charged with murder and conspiracy on the 9th of May 2010. Thekakara was not arrested after he was charged, for which the CBI was criticized by the Kerala High Court and the media. Bhopal gas tragedy. The CBI was publicly seen as ineffective in trying the 1984 Bhopal disaster case. Former CBI Joint Director B.R. Lal has said that he was asked to remain soft on extradition for Union Carbide CEO Warren Anderson and drop the charges. Those accused received 2-year sentences. 2G spectrum scam. The UPA government has been accused of allocating 2G spectrum to corporations at very low prices through corrupt and illegal means. The Supreme Court cited the CBI many times for its tardiness in the investigations. Only after the court began monitoring its investigations were high-profile arrests made. Indian coal allocation scam. This is a political scandal concerning the Indian government's allocation of the nation's coal deposits to private companies by Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, which cost the government 10,673.03 billion rupees. CBI Director Ranjit Sinha submitted an affidavit in the Supreme Court that the coal scam status report prepared by the agency was shared with Congress Party Law Minister Ashwani Kumar as desired by him, and with secretary-level officers from the Prime Minister's office and the Coal Ministry before presenting it to the court. Autonomy, demanding independent investigations. The CBI said that although it deferred to the government's authority in non-corruption cases, the agency felt that sufficient financial and administrative powers were required by the director. As such, it is necessary that the director, CBI, should be vested with ex officio powers of the Secretary to the Government of India, reporting directly to the minister, without having to go through the DOPT, the agency said, adding that financial powers were not enough and it wanted a separate budget allocation. some form of autonomy has been granted by the Supreme Court of India to CBI when it held that CBI can prosecute senior bureaucrats without central government's permission. Indian Supreme Court also held that Section 6A of DSPE Act is unconstitutional. Constitutional status. Guwahati High Court had given a verdict on November 6, 2013, that CBI is unconstitutional and does not hold a legal status. However, the Supreme Court of India stayed this verdict when challenged by the central government. A next hearing on this is fixed on December 6, 2013. Some legal experts believe that the ultimate solution for Indian government is to formulate a law for CBI, as sooner or later the Supreme Court may hold the constitution of CBI unconstitutional. Convictions. The CBI has a high conviction rate.